Welcome to my pure Necromancer build. This one is legendary. This one is the bad boy back on with his pure approach, Grave Lord, Born Tyrant, and Living Dead, all a Necromancer. Let's get into the good stuff. The skills. The front bar. Necrotic Potency. This one is here for the massive ult gen. It's unbelievable how many ult this generates. It's if you're in a battleground, if you are in a lot of action environments, this is gonna come in so hot. And also from your Blighted Blast Bonds, from your Summoner's Armor, from your Skeletal Archer, from your Spirit Guardian, you're just gonna generate so much ultimate that Downbreaker of Smiting becomes almost a spammable. It's crazy. This is one of my favorite abilities of Necro. You can take the essence of every kill you get, of every of your minions when they drop down. You can get their power back to you as in ultimate and healing. Repelling Contingency. This one is our source of confusion because it's a stun that knocks back, also reduces the damage taken by 8%, and you get the Major and Savagery and Major Prophecy for you for 12 seconds, giving you more crit chance. Blood for Blood is the spammable, and also applies emerging status effects, and it's a really high damage and bursts spammable. Also, it deals more damage the more damage you're missing, and it costs nothing, okay? This build has so much healing that Blood for Blood is like, it doesn't cost a damn thing. It doesn't cost you Magicka or Stamina, so your sustain becomes way more affordable. You just become way more resilient, and you can go with Vampire just fine with Vampire Stage 3 and sustain Blood for Blood. Easy. Blighted Blast Bonds, this ability is so cheap and provides so much. It's really hard hitting, and also reduces the healing of your opponent, giving Major Defile. That is so handy, and it's, you gotta have the Blighted Blast Bonds always up as soon as you can. Get this up all the time. A Quick Cloak. This for me is one of my favorite skills. Provides me Major Evasion, a pulse every 2 seconds, dealing physical damage and also getting your enchantments procced, both flame and shock enchantments. Additionally, you get Major Expedition for 4 seconds. This is an extremely mobile Necromancer. High mobility, high healing, high damage, high bursts, and stoppable, and all gen beyond extraordinary. I mentioned I will make a build if I find one that is stronger, and this one is stronger than my previous one. I only make a build if I find one that is stronger. Downbreaker of Smiting. This one is extremely potent. This ultimate, most of you know, it's very powerful. Aim these ones properly. If you consistently get those Downbreakers in with the Necrotic Potencies, you get more ult gen, mortal gen, you get more and more Downbreaker of Smiting on. Get those consistently on your opponents. On the back bar, I have Resolving Vigor. This is the burst. This is the odd heal. So the heal over time, heal, and also gives you minor resolve. Healing Soul, this one is the burst heal. It gives you Major Vitality, increasing your healing, which is a lot on this build, and also gives you magic and stamina back. Spirit Guardian, this one is extremely powerful because really low costs. It gives you 10% less damage taken, and it also a lot of healing over time. A Skeletal Archer, this one is a damage dealer over time, high pressure, and it also provides you with Major Brutality and Sorcery. You keep on doing damage as well. Extremely good on dueling, extremely good on any longer fight. The Skeletal Archer is going to come in handy, and it's going to deal more time if you let it run. Also, look at its costs. This build is extremely resilient because the cost of the abilities is really low. Almost all abilities are very cheap. if you notice. Blighted Blessed Bones, Blood for Blood costs nada. Necrotic Potency, nada. Like, most of the abilities are very cheap, so you can carry on for ages. Bouncing back up for, against your opponents. You will become an unstoppable beast. Summoner's Armor is your source of minor resolve, major minor resolve, and also reduce the cost of Blighted Blessed Bones. And it also generates a corpse that you can use to get more old Chan with Necrotic Potency. I also have here Temporal Guard to get minor protection, even less damage taken, and additionally, very good way to get the passives from Psychic Order here. So Temporal Guard, I like it over there. And also Great Escape. I use it more and more. It's like, if you really get to a point that they're finally almost getting you down, you can use Temporal Guardian, you just disengage and you carry on growing. For the consumables, it's going to be the Tri-Stats Potions. Obviously, this is a staple, very powerful, the Tri-Stats Potions. For consumables, I'm going to be using the Orzogas, Smoke Bear Haunch, and I keep Vampire Stage 3 as well. This way, I use Corrupting Bloody Mana, Beautifying Bloody Mana, and then I get my main food, the Orzogas. And that way, I get my durations here. Vampire Stage 3, Smoke Bear Haunch. Get that juicy Vampire Stage 3 passive. Let me go over it. And Death passive. There we go. Reducing your damage taken by up to 15% based on the missing else. Let's now go over to the sets. We are using Belorg for that extra bursts, because Belorg synergizes really well with the ultimates. Because you're going to be using a lot of ultimate, you're going to generate a lot of ultimate with Necrotic Potency, so Belorg is extremely good here. The synergy is just outstanding. Belorg on the monster sets, because it's just gonna have this on way more often on this setup because of Necrotic Potency. So this is built around Necrotic Potency, if you notice. Weapon and spell damage, and also getting penetration and weapon damage after using Dawnbreaker of Smiting. One piece of trainee here, and front bar is going to be Oak Father, one of my favorite sets for damage, and it's also going to give you a lot of penetration and a lot of weapon damage, and again synergizing with Belorg and with the Necrotic Potency idea. On the back bar, we are going to be using Wretched Vitality and Marking Ring. This ring is just getting more and more into me. Like, just the armor plus the weapon damage is just so, it goes in so well, it's so balanced. I really like Marking. So Wretched Vitality front back bar and Oak Father front bar, Marking and Belorg. Let me go over all the details. So it's 6 in pen, 1 reinforced on the heavy chest, it's 5 medium, and 1 light here on a sash for optimal armor. It's 5 medium here, in pen, 6 in pen. And all of them are tri-stats on the armor. Now let's go over the jewelry. Protective on the 3, weapon damage and stamina recovery there. On the front bar we have Narn with shock and Sharpened with flame damage. Over there. Oak Father on the front bar. 2 maces, by the way. 2 freaking damn maces. Maximum penetration on this build. You do not need debuffs. You do not need to worry about having all the debuffs on the opponent, because your penetration is going to be above 20k right off the bat. So it's really massive pen going on, especially after using ultimate. So don't worry about having your opponents with all the debuffs going. On a back bar, which is very handy for everyone that wants to get into this setup. On a back bar, Wretched Vitality, Great Sword. Wretched Vitality is magical recovery, stamina recovery, more weapon damage, which is always great, and also massive recovery on the back bar. It's awesome. You can actually go with Rallying Cry and try to sustain Rallying Cry. I prefer Rigid Vitality because I get into a lot of 1vx, and I also get into a lot of 4v4 battlegrounds, 8v8 battlegrounds, and some of the times you get really rough opponents and or really rough matches, and it's handy to have some extra sustain to keep yourself afloat on those harder matches that you can get on, or even some really rough duels can be handy there as well, but less there, preferably on dueling. You can go with Rallying Cry, but yeah, Rigid Vitality. You can sustain Rallying Cry, however, if you do want to. Even though we are an Orc, by the way. Very important to mention. Orc Necromancer. Orc Necromancer. Vampire Orc Necromancer. And when it comes to the Great Sword details, it's weapon damage and defending as well on the back bar. That is correct. So now up to the Mundus Stone. The Warrior Mundus. We're using the Warrior Mundus right here. A lot of weapon damage. Fully buffed up, it's really high. Not gonna be fully buffed up. I'm just gonna go over quickly the stats. I have 45 points into stamina, 19 points into health. And slowly go over the base stats. Buffed up, it goes really, really high. So now, let us go over the CP. Untamed Aggression, Master at Arms, Ironclad, Resilience, Sustained by Suffering, Pain's Refuge, Fortified, and Celerity. Here on the green tree is not as important for combat, but I have Gifted Rider, Master Gatherer, Fade Away, and Steed's Blessing. By the way, if you're finding this video insightful, press the like button. That's all I ask of you. And subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed in yet. Let me now go over the rotation. Rotation, you want to make sure defensively that you get all your buffs up on the back bar. So, you want to get Quick Cloak, Summoner's Armor, Skeletal Archer, and Spirit Guardian. That is without being in combat. Before we start combat, you want to get Resolving Vigor and Healing Soul as well. And then, or Healing Soul first, and then Resolving Vigor. And then, let the fight begin. You always start with Blighted Blast Bones. Get a Blighted Blast Bones up. Then, Repelling Contingency. And then, either Downbreaker of Smiting if you have Downbreaker, or Blood for Blood if you don't have Downbreaker. But you're gonna have Downbreaker many times. It's crazy how much old chan this build has. Let me go over. So, Vital Blast Bones, Repelling Contingency, spammable. There we go. But now, we soak the power of the opponents. There we go. We soak them up. We take their strength. Here it goes, baby. I showcase this bad boy in PvP action every day, Monday to Friday on stream, by the way. So let me go over the combo. It's always Blighted Blast Bones, Repelling Contingency, this case ults. Everything connects at the same time if you do the combo properly. And then after you kill the opponents, Necrotic Potency, getting that ult back up. And look, I always have an ultimate almost. It's crazy. I'm gonna have an ultimate again after killing these mobs. It's crazy. I always have an ultimate going. So, Blighted Blast Bones, Repelling Contingency. Your opponent should be stunned as well because of the Repelling Contingency. And everything is gonna pop at the same time. So, here it goes. Repelling Contingency, and in this case I can go for a Downbreaker, and everything is gonna eat at the same time. The Repelling Contingency, the Blighted Blast Bones, and the Downbreaker of Smiting. And then you can take the power from the corpses, rinse it, repeat like an unstoppable beast, with Belorg always bringing extra penetration with Bellark bringing extra weapon damage, non-stop damage, unstoppable beast. You carry on, you carry on, you carry on. Always going in and freaking stoppable. So you carry on doing that and you just melt them. There we go. And that is it for the build. I tried to make it even faster so I don't waste your time. And my wolves, everybody, I am streaming Monday through Friday on Twitch. I am the proud leader of the Wolfpack. If you are not in the Wolfpack yet, make sure to subscribe us here. Make sure to follow us on Twitch. Make sure to like this video in here. And have a great rest of your day. If you have any questions, get on the comment section below and ask. I believe I've covered everything. If I did not, please do tell me. I'll be free to answer any of the questions. By the way, my weapons, I always get that question. My weapons are Rune Priest's weapons. That's right. I always get, everybody wants to know what swords I'm rocking. Those are the Rune Priest weapons. See you, and keep pushing.